Another live stream, Thursday, February 26th. Let's start with our higher time frame analysis. Market just opened 2 minutes ago, and we are not in a rush to find a setup. Let me first zoom back to daily time frame and remind ourselves what was going on. Price has been in a consolidation range for a quite while. Price is inside of this same range for several months. So price has been range bound. Price came near the range lows and took its reaction, started bouncing from the range lows. And my initial targets for this bullish movement was this weekly opening gap, also the current monthly open, this level. I believe price almost reached this level. My bias was bearish until this low, but price is already dropping lower and already taking out the low. If price was around here, I might look for short opportunities towards this level, but price already started coming to this level before the market open and immediately started expanding towards this level. I don't take my entries with FOMO, so I'm waiting, observing what is going to happen after price taking out this level. I want to observe and see if this stays bearish below this low or if it reverses back higher. So I'm not in a rush. I believe I can find setup anytime, anywhere. No need to rush with the FOMO. I believe these lows are key levels, so I will be cautious about my setups right at this level. I wouldn't look for a short setup from these levels because this is the expansion, the retracement, higher high. This becomes the liquidity level that we use for our long setups, and this is also an equal low with Asia low, right? Price just swept the levels, and there is a possibility to see a reversal from these levels, but just because there is that possibility of reversal doesn't mean that we just hurry into a long setup, right? We don't want to jump in a long because it came to that level with some strength, right? Because of that strong push down, we want to see if price really wants to reverse from this level. I mean, we don't want to catch the falling knife. Instead, we want to wait for the reaction, wait and see what price does, and then we might look for a setup. I just want to measure the size of the candlesticks to get an idea about the volatility. And I think I will be looking at 5-minute chart. Price left a candle without a wick over here, but order flow is currently bearish. I would only target that wickless candles after price turns back higher. When price is expanding lower, I wouldn't target this one. This level is daily open. This level is previous daily close, and price left a liquidity void after price took out some highs on 4-hour chart. So I am I'm trying to be cautious about these levels. I don't really know if price wants to turn back higher to sweep these levels even further. I don't know if price wants to, for example, get back towards this level. These are just weekly gaps, weekend gaps. The gaps occur after Friday close or between Friday close and Sunday open. So over here I'm just patient. We have a lot of time. If price keeps expanding lower, then I might look for a short setup, the SPS short setups. But this one, I'm not sure about this one because zoom out. Look at 5 minutes. See this range over here. We are right beneath the range low. A consolidation area. We just took out the lows of the consolidation area. I mean, I really don't know if price is going to reverse back inside the range or if this will be a breakout and price would keep going. So around here I don't want to participate in a short position. Even if I did, that would be a quick scalp setup. I mean, I wouldn't enter from here and target this further low levels. If I'm going to target more than, let's say, 100 points, right? If I'm going to target this level, then I'm not going to rush into a entry around this level. If I'm entering, for example, from this, after this tap high is swept, I wouldn't carry this all the way here. It would be a scalp setup inside of this mini range over here. So I might take a short setup with just 1 or 2 micro. 2 micro would be ideal because I could take partials then. This is the midnight opening price on New York time. Some people call this true day open. Some people call this New York midnight open. The name doesn't matter. What matters is the function. I'm gonna measure this one here. Not so huge. We can come back. I wanna see another high touching this midnight open and maybe this 20 simple moving average. But if candle closes bearish, price may not do what I want. I mean, if price closes this level, price might keep going lower without sweeping this high. So with the closure, I will open 1 micro short.
Order
Price
filled.
closed. Stop here. Let's wait and see what happens. On 30-second price. Yeah, tested the 20 simple moving average. I wanted to play it small because there was a possibility for consolidation or double tops like that. I tried one setup, and if momentum kept going, I would have taken my profits, but momentum stalled there. So I'm watching the price right now. This was a really small loss, but it's okay. Good morning. Market opened down with gap, so bullish isn't possible, I think. So, but today might be a range day. This is an evaluation on NinjaTrader, not a funded account. This one over here is the evaluation account. Yeah, today might be a consolidation day. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see an expansion lower. I will try another one from this low. Sell stop here.
Order submitted.
Price I already took that level, but I will leave it like that.
Order filled.
Okay, price tagged our entry. Price action is quite volatile over here, so I'm not opening two big positions. Just one micro. And let me see if I can write the volatility. I mean, if this leaves imbalances, it can reach to this level quite easily. This gap over here. But still there's a possibility to see something like that too. Sweeping this, coming back higher, making yet another SPS, something like that, and then going lower. This is a possibility too. I'll just watch and see what happens. I think I can just leave my stop loss right there because it is 1 micro. Yes is making new lows, but Nasdaq is stalling around. The idea is very simple. I'm just joining the intraday momentum. This was actually a breakout trade. This might look like a continuation trade on lower time frames. It seems like a continuation, but when we zoom out to 5-minute chart, this is actually a breakout. I mean, I tried to catch a breakout. I betted on a breakout. But on 1 minute, it was looking like a continuation trade. So this is a decision point. As I told you before, there is still this possibility before taking out a loss. I mean, if price does something like that and then makes a mini reversal inside the fractal and maybe a fractal sweep like that, then I will open a bigger position. It will be not half or quarter size, it will be full size. Both these positions were really very small positions, only 1 micros. If price stays below this 20 simple moving average, then it will very likely hit the take profit. around here, it would be a little bit more than 100 points, I guess. Yes, a little bit more than 100 points. But with this higher volatility, it is not a huge movement. This candlestick looks interesting. It has no upper wick. One of the biggest reasons that I was bearish was price took out the highs of this consolidation range. Let me close these executions real fast. See, price is quite range bound, right? Even if this is bullish and even if this wants to keep going higher, it is possible to see deep retracement like that and then price coming back higher. I mean, if you look carefully, that's what price has been doing all the time, right? The price wants to drop lower, but it doesn't drop immediately down. It drops a little, takes out some lows or tests some weekly gap levels and then bounces from there. And then go lower again, takes out some lows. After the low sweep, price doesn't just keep flushing lower. It just makes the retracement. And that retracement is a huge movement on lower time frames, right? So I am betting on something similar over here. Price took the high, right? Price is range bound. I mean, if you check this real quickly, real carefully, price goes higher, but eventually it stops to take out some lows. Then it goes higher. As soon as it takes some kind of high, it comes back. It takes the high, comes back. Now it took the highs once again, and it kind of looks like it is coming back lower. So that's why I felt like this could be bearish, right? And during the trending price action, for example, let's say daily trend was bullish, right? If the daily trend was bullish, seeing an expansion like that made me feel even more bullish, right? I would say, well, it started its thing and it is going higher. It will take out the low and it will reverse back higher and keep going higher. That would what I think. That's what I would think, excuse me. If the daily chart was trending bullish. I mean, look at this. If price was moving like this on daily time frame, then I would obviously be bullish, but these conditions are much different, right? Price, if you look really objectively and look really carefully, you can easily see that it just bounces from lows and drops from highs. It's very simple actually. And we waited for the right time, which is the New York AM session. We saw that a real gap over here, a real vacuum, a real liquidity void, right? Price taps the gap once in London and once in pre-session right before the New York Open, reverses back lower and starts the expansion right with the market open, right? So after that expansion, we betted that price might be breaking lower, breaking below these lows. So on 1 minute time frame, we took our classic setup, the swing breakout sequence. The first sequence is find the bearish leg, which is the easiest one. Price just dropping that after the simple moving average crossover, right? Price is dropping. It's very obvious, and price is right below the 20 simple moving average. The second sequence is find the retracements inside of this leg, right? For example, price broke lower, made the retracement here, but after that retracement, price left an imbalance untapped and keep going, keep expanding lower. And after that expansion lower, price made another, right? When price looks like this, I just keep following the price, right? I don't just sit and wait for this level when price is just keep going, keep expanding. And then after this, price made the lower low and made a sweep and then double top and reversal. For my first entry, I didn't wait for the double top because of the momentum. I thought price might keep the momentum lower. Price might come back faster, but it didn't happen. It's okay. I got a real small stop loss and I tried another one over here, which is the entry after the double top reversal. So the logic is very simple. First, expansion lower. This is the swing breakout sequence by Stoic Trader, by the way. Second, first step, first retracement, first pullback, whatever you want to call it. Keep expanding. This is the third sequence. To engineer the liquidity. Because when you keep expanding like that, the breakout sellers will put their stop loss probably over here, right? If this is a strong breakout, price wouldn't come back to this level. Also, the people who sold around here might trail their stop losses over here. Also, if price goes above this high, some people might think it as a lower time frame reversal because price is breaking above the last high, right? The last high that made the last low. So there's liquidity over here. The stop losses, the trailing stop losses of the short sellers, these stop losses of late short sellers, also buy entries, buy stops or market buys of buyers. So price comes back, takes out that liquidity, the engineered liquidity, and then keeps going lower. The sweep, the double top, and reversing back lower. Price couldn't reach the 2 hours yet. It seems a little slow. So this is our last step high. I don't want price to take out this high. I would rather see price keep dropping lower from this level. Why? Because first of all, I don't want to see price coming back inside this range. This range over here. I don't want to see candle closures inside of this range. Secondly, I don't want to see price invalidating this imbalance over here. Okay? And also I don't want to see price closing above this 20 SMA over here. So because of these reasons, I'm not going to add to my position after if price sweeps this. Alright? If price takes out this high, I'll just sit on my position and wait and see what happens. I would ideally want to see price coming to this gap without taking out this level. After this gap level, I wouldn't be surprised to see a deep retracement. By deep retracement, I mean something like that. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this after price tests this level. But right now, I don't want to see price taking out this level. A nice tap on the 20 SMA. Another imbalance looks like it is forming. It would be nice to see that. I will trail my stop loss to break even. I want to see this high staying protected. If price takes out that high, then I want to sit, watch, and wait for price to give me another nice opportunity so I can trigger my next short setup. But I will not immediately rush if this gets stopped out on break even. Let me check the setup. Let me check the calendar. FOMC speak. Yeah, I don't care about this news. Price might be making a retracement a little bit earlier than I think because of this 200 SMA on 15-minute chart. Price might even start chopping around this level. Bounce, go back lower, bounce, go back lower, eventually lose this level. Raise something like this. Right? And then test it and then go lower. It's possible to see things like that. 10 AM candle just opened, the new hourly candle. This candle looks lovely. I mean, it looks quite bearish. It would be nice to see this candle either just expanding lower or coming here before makes the hourly high. Testing this level and then coming back is fine with me. I'm okay to see that. And what I will do right now, I will move my take profit and I will watch the price closely because this kind of seems like it is trending. So I'm willing to risk a couple of points, like 10, 20 points for the opportunity of getting even more, right? Another 100 points, for example. So I will watch the reaction from here. If I see a strong reaction, I will be out of this trade. But if I don't see a strong reaction, if this just keeps flushing lower, then I will say it's great, right? I mean, this gap is a key level, but just because it is a key level doesn't mean price has to jump right at this level. Taking the profit at this level is just the low risk move. I mean, it is the closest place that I can easily take my partial, but The hourly candle opened, it left an imbalance, and it looks like it is leaving another imbalance. So I want to watch the price. If this wants to just drop that from this level, or maybe if it wants to make its retracement from this level, right? I mean, maybe if this wants to hit this level and then turn back higher, things like that. So I'm just watching the level. I would ideally want to see price coming to this level, this gap over here. Why? This is the weekly opening gap, the weekend gap of this current week. All right, and we see something like a midweek reversal. Price started going up from Monday, Tuesday, Monday up, Tuesday up, Wednesday up, and Wednesday places the high, gap lower on Thursday, and Thursday starts to expand lower, and this expansion could be until this current weekly open, which is this level. Let me check the price first. Yeah, price receiving some kind of reaction from here. I'm watching this imbalance. And I'm looking for the price, how it closes. I'm also watching this one. Yeah, I think this is a weak closure, so I keep carrying the position. If it comes back and takes the break even, well, then it's tough luck and I would have learned something. And this is a small position, so it's not really a big deal. I want to see price coming to this level. In the past, I would exit from positions too prematurely, too early. And I really experienced seeing that price coming back to this exact level several times. Let me mark the levels. This is the current week's opening price. And this is previous week's closing price. And I believe price is coming to this level today. And I believe it is not going to make a too deep retracement before taking out this. After this level, or maybe even this level, we might see something like that. Maybe a reversal, maybe keep going lower. Yeah, but I believe this level is in the play. And this closure was really weak. It closed inside of the imbalance. The next candlestick tapped this imbalance over here. So, I mean, it is really possible to see something like that, right? 10 a.m. would come to this level, take out, and then come back to take out this 10 a.m. high. It's possible to see something like that. Now price tapped the weekly gap. If price leaves a lower high, right? I mean, if price leaves a failed swing and then close above this high, then I am killing my trade. I'm not looking at the profits, okay? I don't care how much the profit was. If price taps this level, price already tapped this level, excuse me. Price tapped this level. If price leaves a failed swing and then close above this high, then I am not carrying this position anymore. I am closing it without looking at the profits. It will be in some kind of profits. I don't know the amount, but I don't care about it either. I mean, this little evaluation account is not going to change my life, but if I learn the proper execution over here, if I create systematic habits, that might change my life. So I am only focused on the craft right now. I don't care about the profits or losses on this account. I mean, I can blow this account, right? This is $20. I can work, find $20 or more, take another one, right? At least I'm not trading it with within an undisciplined manner. I am trading it with discipline, with proper risk management. If with proper risk management this account gets blown, I will not get mad about it. I will not get sorry about it. I will just observe the information, observe what happened, and adjust myself based on that. So the account doesn't really matters. The execution is what matters, and I believe the execution has been proper. We are currently just gathering data, right? We know the concepts, we know the technicals, we can see what price is likely to. So, and we can even see the bounce levels, right? I mean, this weekend gaps, these are just weekend gaps. And the date is over here. 8th February, right? This is just a weekend gap. And these gaps work really nice. They are great levels. I'm going to make a YouTube video. I did make a YouTube video about them, but I didn't like that video too much, so I didn't release it. I will make another one, a better one, because I believe these are the best institutional levels. Best, I don't know. I firmly believe that big players are using these levels to adjust their orders. All right. I am absolutely certain about it. I didn't see any big players. I didn't went to Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I haven't been in America before, but I have been looking at these gaps for the last 3 years, and I am absolutely certain that there's something about them. I have been observing them, I have been taking notes with them, and I found very precise trade models with these gaps. I made nice profits. I passed several prop firms challenges from this by using these gaps. And then the method I found extremely mechanical method stopped playing out, right? I was opening short positions towards these levels on Monday. It was working perfectly back in 2024. I made really nice money with that, but then it stopped working and I was really confused about it, but it didn't change my passion and my obsession about this level, these weekly gap levels. So I'm making a video about them. Right now I don't really like to see price is consolidating above this gap. I would rather see it consolidating inside of it, but let's see. As long as this high is here intact, price is not reversing higher. We have got 100-point profits, which is a nice profits point wise, but it is not big with just 1 micro. I mean, if this was more than 1 micro, if this was 2 micros, I would most definitely take partial from this level. But since this is just a 1 micro, I want to just wait until at least until this level, because I've seen this so many times, right? Several times. I would take my partials from this level. I would short from here and I would get out from here immediately because I would be scared that price might reverse back higher, and then I would see prices keep expanding towards the target, right? So this is the reason. Today I don't even care about the money, okay? I don't even care about the amount of profits. I don't even care about showing off to my followers. The only thing I care about is, man, I've seen this many times before and I never let my position to run all the way, right? I would get anxious from these consolidations, from these little pullbacks. Immediately after I see that price bouncing from this level, I would think that, oh, it is bouncing, I should have closed, and I would immediately close the position. But right now I didn't want to do this. I wanted to feel the experience, okay? I wanted to wait how it feels, because it looked like price might be reversing back higher. But I told myself if it wouldn't close above this high, then this wouldn't be a reversal, right? So that's why I just wanted to wait. And I want to see the reaction from this level right now. Price came with really nice candle. Okay. So I want to see price purging this level. This previous week's closing price. Let me show it on weekly chart. Looks like this on weekly chart. And if price comes below this level, the weekly candle, that big bullish, big white candle, will be turned into a little black candle, right? So this is an important zone. Okay. I want to see price dripping through this level because I don't want to see price coming back inside to this candlestick. There was a huge sale over here. After that huge selling, I don't want a price all of a sudden coming back, because after that big candles, if price is coming back higher, I feel like this might be a liquidation, right? Liquidation of the sell orders. I mean, after this big candle, I don't want price coming back higher. If price is coming back higher, there would be something suspicious, right? We already have 200 points with just one micro. We erased yesterday's 3 losses, right? The amount 3 losses. We trailed our stop losses pretty nicely, and price came back to current week's opening price, but expansion is really strong. This candlestick has got no high. I'm waiting for it to close. I might kill my position around these levels because price hit the objective and profit is pretty nice. I'm just looking to see if this wants to make one last purge or if it wants to reverse back higher, because price likes to deviate below this level or accumulate below this level. If this is going to make an accumulation before going back higher, price might give us some more points and then reverse, right? So I want to see what it is going to do below this gap. I honestly didn't expect it to be this fast. I was just reading the context of the higher time frame, and that higher time frame context was telling me that price was bullish, but not seeing any kind of reactions from these levels, and price just slicing through them is a really bearish sign. I mean, today I wouldn't look any kind of long setups, right? And I believe it is possible to see even further expansion lower. It has been 260 points. We catch a nice breakout over there. This is a really bearish sign. Price already took some lows. Let me zoom out a little bit. I think that was enough for me. I will just close this trade over here. Almost 250 points, which is pretty nice.
Order filled.
I really enjoyed this one, and I do believe price will give another shorting opportunity. I mean, I believe this was not the first and only setup for the day. This was the first, and I believe price might give another one. For example, price might do something like that. Or maybe something like that. Tap, lower low, sweep the tap, and use this level as a resistance and reverse back lower. Or maybe it might want to consolidate a little bit, start the complex retracement, and then make a fractal reversal around here. Fractal reversal means price just stopping the retracing and keep expanding lower. Something like this is possible to see, and price might create our fractal sweep around here. I believe today is a high probability day for short setups, and I definitely wouldn't long this. I longed this kind of price action in the past, and I burned out pretty bad. I mean, it is really difficult to catch even as retracement, right? Look at how small it retraces and how big it expands, right? Good morning, Andre. How are you doing? Good job, man. Keep going. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Imad, I guess. One day up and one day down. Markets are directionless. Yeah, that's correct. Tough days. Crazy move. Previous day low target. Well, previous day low. Let me check. Yeah, it is already taken, and I believe I forgot to mark that previous day low, but I exited right at the previous day low. I really liked today's price action. It was lovely to see a expansion lower after taking out the highs. And this price action is good news, because if you watched my video about the market liquidity cycle, right? We are seeing something similar to this one. That means price might give us some more nice short opportunities in the coming days, right? We might see something like that in hourly chart. In the bigger picture, we must see this and lower low and again, or maybe something like that. Retracement, lower low, tap this weekly gap, come to this level, come back lower, things like that. It's possible to see this kind of price action, right? And yeah, if the only thing we know is trading the trends, yeah, I lost cover from yesterday with just one micro and one stopped out and one TP. Yeah, we gotta stay alive so we can trade tomorrow. Yeah, this is exactly the yesterday's losses. I believe there will be another chance today. Normally I would close the day after this kind of win, but I was thinking about the yesterday's price action and the losses on yesterday, and I told myself, man, I just take one setup and walk away when price action is amazing, but I just take several setups and get stopped out several times in more difficult price actions, right? So today I decided to change that. If yesterday deserves taking 3 setups, right? More than 1 setups, I mean. Today most definitely deserves that too, I believe. So this was a nice expansion. I already marked the previous day low. And I will check the price and try to see if I can somehow, if excuse my English, I will check if I can find some key levels. Right. This place seems like one. Why? Because obviously the origin of this expansion. We might see retracement from this level. I don't know, but let me measure the size of today's candlestick. 500 points. I believe these levels, this weekly gap, still can work as a magnet. So I'm not rushing to short this once again. I'm most definitely not clicking market sell on a random level. I'm looking at this level. I might try a scalp short above this level, but I don't want to see price closing above the previous day low over here. But if it closes above it, I will keep waiting. Let's watch and see what happens next. Okay, how are you guys doing? The expected video. Did you take any setups today? Did you start trading, or are you just observing and learning? Well, I believe being an observer is one of the greatest things a trader can do, especially if the trader has not too much money, right? I mean, I'm not a rich person. I don't have many money, so instead of just constantly taking risks, I just chill out and try to learn and grow, right? If I didn't take any setups today, I wouldn't feel like I was missing something. Because days like this will always happen. And if we can create the correct habits, and if we can create a discipline to survive this kind of environments, this kind of price actions, or any kind of price action, if we learn to survive, we will eventually create a system with good positive expectancy, and we will make it, right? So I was expecting consolidation. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a consolidation on a Thursday, right? Especially after price hit those levels. I mean, there was conditions like exactly like this. price did exactly the same things, but then price started consolidating and came back at the launch and then reverses at the PM session and then come back lower. That was a possibility too. I will now enter my next short position. I didn't expect to see this. Seeing a doji and then coming back would be better. Let me measure the candle. It will be one
Order
micro
filled.
once again, because stop is quite big. The stop loss is really big. So, and the account is really small. I think I will have to purchase some bigger accounts, right? To be able to now when I look at it, I see this possibility to sweeping this and then sweeping that high once again. But I already created a nice buffer with the profit, right? So I can use that buffer to take my setups. And I believe today's shorts are really worth the try. It would be nice to see this small imbalance. Price tap the key level, but I would ideally want to see it going beyond it. I mean, because of this strong and big momentum, I would rather see price coming closer to midpoint of this level, or at least this little area over here. Midpoint is ideal to see. I mean, at least purging a little beyond this wick would be nice. Price is tapping this small little imbalance over here. It's a really small one. Let me mark that. I want to see price. I want to see this imbalance holding the price lower. But if price wants to take out this high, it wouldn't be a big surprise, because it is right below the previous day low and right below the 20 simple moving average. Price might want to tap this, get close to this. But after this big expansion and strong momentum, I would rather see price not sweeping this high. I mean, I would rather see a failed swing around here, not sweeping this. Maybe getting close to it, but not taking it out. Okay? Seeing a double top around here is okay, but I don't want to see that double top with a sweep. I want to see it with even something like that is cool. Seeing a closure below this level would be nice. And I want to see price digging below this, digging inside of these levels. Close this candle and I will add and trail the stop here. Closure is suspicious. What do you guys think? I expected to price close below this level, but let me see. I can still sell here. Yeah, I already did sell it.
Order filled.
Move the stop loss to this high. 40 point stop loss, I guess. Yeah, it is about. Let's make it around 40. I don't want to see this level getting taken. I want to see price keep going lower. But if this gets taken, I might re-enter, because it would be Could it be a fractal sweep? No, I guess. It doesn't look like a fractal. Let me check it. Yeah, it would be ideal to see this high being protected, but let's see. These fast price actions are the only times I like to zoom in. I want to see price invalidating this little imbalance over here. Come on, sweetheart, you can do it. Give us some 50 points or something like that. When does this candlestick closes? And
Order
another one
filled.
added. Let's see what happens. Stop loss is still 40 points. We got 3 micro. Let me calculate the risk. This is the current risk. And I will take partials on 1-to-1 because we are already in profits. And price is expanded quite a bit, right? I'm treating this as a scalp setup. My entry is right around here. And stop loss is 40 points and my target is also 40 points, around 63 levels. Okay. Buy limit 2. I will close 2 on 1-to-1.
Order submitted. Order
Okay,
canceled.
I closed the partial. I trailed my stop loss. The reason I am managing this really aggressive is price has been expanded quite a bit and price came to some levels. I can see that price is not rushing to take out this level. I can see the structure forming, but the more times price spends, the more momentum it loses, right? I mean, eventually this momentum will be dead and price will start consolidating near the, maybe near the launch, maybe near some other times. But there is also possibility to see a really strong and huge pullback up. Why? Because price has been consolidating on higher time frames, right? It has been, if we zoom out, we saw days like this, price going expanding lower, and we saw 50% retracement, closing a weird daily candle, and then next day continuing. There is an example right over here. See that? Let us check this one. And the interesting thing is, it is the almost same exact pattern. Monday up, Tuesday up, Wednesday up, and put the high. Do you see that? Thursday expanding towards where the weekly open and previous week close, right at this gap. Do you see that?
Stop filled.
Almost the same exact logic. Takes out the highs inside of the range, reverses back lower, puts the high on Wednesday and keeps going lower on Thursday, right? Makes a huge expansion, then all of a sudden price reverses back higher just to continue the next day. I mean, look at the next day. See that? That's the reason I am extremely cautious at these low levels. I believe price took the stop loss of the remaining partial and we ended that position in profits too, even though we did get stopped out, which is pretty nice. Right now I will remove this. I don't want to harm your eyes with too much wiggly lines. All right. Also, price was testing the origin area, and think of it like that. When price is range bound and the day is Thursday and price is attacking to current weekly opening price and previous week's closing price, which means the weekend gap, right? ICT calls this MVOG, which means new week opening gap, to sound fancy, but this is just a weekend gap. We don't try to be fancy. We don't try to lure people into our teachings or anything like that. We are objective people who are trying to understand the market dynamics and trying to improve themselves, eventually become a trader and make money from trading. We are just a community, so we don't try to do that kind of fancy stuff. This is just a weekend gap, okay? And institutions were using them probably before even ICT was born, right? This is a universal concept. Almost every trader knows and uses. Probably some traders that it didn't even heard the name of ICT might be using this one. Okay. So we did the right thing to get out from the position with that scalping maneuver. Now this high is the tap high, because this is the last low price made, and these two are the tap highs actually. Let me erase some levels to make it less confusing. This is the key level. Price is bouncing off of the key level. Price closed above this level. So I am seeing a difference in order flow, right? Because if you look at that, if you look at this price action, this kind of highs used to stay protected, right? Used to get protected, stay protected. But right now, price closed above this high. All right. If you are bearish and you want to open a short position, this is where you want to be patient. Okay? Because this is the places where I get stopped out the most. I mean, I feel like this might be consolidating and I wouldn't take this position, right? Which is normal. I can do that. Okay. And then I would take this one, but it wouldn't run too much hours. I would expect to get 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 2, right? But price would only give something like 1 to 1. I don't know. Price gives a small profit and then comes back to take out this high. Then I would constantly keep pressing market sell from, for example, taking out this low. This is where it gets more dangerous to enter a short setup. I mean, this could still go back lower from this level, but after price tap the key level, close back higher, ignored one of the tap high. This is the tap high. Normally price was constantly leave the tap high, lower low, sweep it, go lower, sweep it, go lower. Price was doing that, but right now closed above it, didn't go lower and kept going above. So if I took a short setup, just like the way I did take the others, I would have got immediately stopped out, right? Can see that? If I took this setup, I would immediately get stopped out. This is where I sit on my hands. I stay sidelines because I'm not really so good at trading these retracements, but I believe I'm learning how to do that. Maybe in the future I might start trading this retracement, but I'm not trading this retracement currently. So if I'm not going to trade this retracement, I am also being cautious about these short setups. Then I'm not entering. I am waiting on sidelines. What I want to see in order to join a short setup, I want to see weakness. I want to see price invalidating levels like this, right? Maybe price wants to do something like that. I don't know. Come back to this imbalance, bounce back higher, close above the previous day low, accumulate around here, tap the weekly gap levels, maybe this level, I don't know. Then maybe it starts to reverse back higher, close below the previous day low, tap it, and then come back, leave a high over here, and then reverse back lower. This is where I would like to start shorting this, right? This is just an illustration. It can do any kind of patterns. It could be something like that. I don't care I don't care about the pattern right now. What I care about is the context. I want to get convinced. Okay, I want to feel like right now I feel like price is starting a retracement, and I don't know where this retracement is going to end. Price might reverse back lower from here, or price might do something like that, or price might do this. Act like retracement is over and then make another slow grind, right? Eventually, impulsive expansion lower, and after that impulsive expansion lower, I would like to participate this one. Because remember, I just showed you a price action, something really similar to this one, and price, on the example I showed, price dropped 600 points and it went back higher for 300 points. And if the same thing happens again, right, we might see something like this. And I don't want to bleed my account by shorting this one. I tried doing that in one of my trading sessions and I took multiple losses on my paper trading account. All right. It was one of my live sessions. I don't remember the date, but it was one of the Wednesday, I think. We can check it later. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the context over here. Context is the king. Context is always very important. Price now is closing above the previous day low. Okay. What do we see here? Below the previous day low, right? When we zoom out, what do we see below the previous day lows in the past price action? What does price do after sweeping the previous day low and turning back higher, right? So this is where I want to be very cautious about my shorts. In here, if I had a gun in my head and saying click the button and take a setup, it would be a long. And it would be a scalp. I would get out immediately from a nice level. I don't know. Maybe this level, right? I'm just doing it just to show you, but this is not a good setup. This is not a high probability setup, okay? I used to do this. I used to take trades like that. I used to say, well, price closed above the previous day high. I will long it. I will target some levels, okay? This is Wednesday, so price might, this is Thursday, so price might want to come back to this level, etc. And I will tell myself, well, I will carry this position unless price closes below the level, okay? So I wouldn't rush for a short. And also I wouldn't try to long it because remember what I explained. This has been dropping pretty bad, and even if it is going to keep going higher, I don't know how much it is going to go. I don't know where it is going to end the retracement. I mean, this could be a long at the top of the range, right? I don't know. Maybe it is not. Maybe price will turn back higher and keep going. Maybe it will look like making a reversal and then turn back higher. On lower time frames, it kind of seems like this could be an SPS setup, but I can't really trust it, right? Because of this strong expansion. So the best play over here is just waiting and not clicking the button. At least in my perspective, in my trading experience. If you became an expert catching long from this level and getting out at this level, then it's your deal. I mean, if you can stay profitable trading this kind of longs, I would respect that. Okay, I would say good for you. Keep doing whatever you are doing. But currently, I believe I'm not really very good at trading these retracements. I'm just barely learning how to do that. So I'm not taking this kind of long trades. And since the shorts are much more different than this price action over here, because we were riding a wave over here. Okay, we were riding a bearish momentum. All right, but after this multiple imbalances, and price didn't even tap those imbalances, right? That wave, that bearish momentum wave, doesn't exist anymore. Okay, there is some adjustment in the order flow. So if the same exact wave is not present there, then you cannot surf assuming that that wave is still there. Okay, that's why I am patient for entering another short position. I mean, I could close the day here because I already took some nice profits, erased the losses from yesterday, etc. I'm just keep doing this, keeping this session just to show you guys how to trade more complex retracements, or at least how to protect yourself, how to protect your capital and protect your mental health. Because think of our entry pattern, right? If I entered short positions, the same exact entry pattern with the same exact entry pattern I did over here. You saw the entry pattern I use here, right? It's really simple. Sweep of this high, going below the candlestick, right? Making double top, going below the candlestick. This was simply our entry. We tried it once. It got stopped out because of my wrong stop placement. I should have placed the stop on this high, right? Because double top with a failed swing was a possibility. So it sweat me. But after I saw that double top with failed swing, this is the failed swing, by the way. After I saw that failed swing with double top and price going below this level, I shorted another one. This was simply the pattern, and once again I took same exact pattern over here, right? Price went below this level and I took the setup. If I did the same exact thing over here, let's count how many stop losses I would get. One stop loss from here, right? Price took this, the same entry idea, and went back higher. And after this high, if I entered once again from this low, that would be the second stop loss. And then if I took after sweep of this high, another entry from here, I would have ended up with another stop loss. It would be third. And after this double top, this would be the next short, and I would get stopped out for the fourth time, right? So, whereas this SBS pattern is an excellent pattern, it is dangerous to trade it without any context. This is why we have to backtest. This is why we need experience. This is why live chart execution is much more important than the hindsight. These hindsight charts that gurus share, right? Furus, or I don't know. This is why you see a fair value gap, right? It looks perfect on the hindsight, but when you look at the real price action, it gets much more difficult, much more messy, ugly, right? Because reality is never perfect. And I believe we can easily accept that fact and move on with it. I mean, it's not something terrible if you get used to that reality. That becomes something easier for you, right? I mean, this price, we can call this price action a difficult price action because price keeps going back and forth. Why this is a difficult price action for most of the traders? Because of the teachers. Every teacher shows this, as if price always moves like that. Every market structure video is like that. And this is your final high, and this is your low, and this is the market structure break, and after that price keeps coming lower. Yeah, bet price does this. Market never is perfect. If we get used to this one, we would only be good at trending markets, and we would always feel frustrated during this kind of price action. But as you can see, this kind of price action has got its own dynamics. And if we can learn and understand these dynamics, it would really get too easy to trade this one too, right? Most of us, including me, call this, I mean, I used to call this kind of price action a quote unquote difficult or choppy or ugly, whatever you want to call it, but price is price. It always has got some kind of dynamics because it is like a breeding organism that gets affected by the behaviors of the participants of global economy, right? Consumers affect the price, producers, financial speculators, banks, everybody has got some kind of influence on this price. This is an organism and an entity that was created by the behaviors of almost pretty much all of the humans. So let us see that. I want to talk about a pattern I often see, a particular type of imbalance. This is just something from my experience, okay? If this candlestick close somewhat white, doesn't matter the size, next candlestick is likely to sweep this high. But it is different. I mean, look at this. I want to show you guys this. This is something I have been seeing many times. Just give me a second. Want to make it black. Imagine an imbalance right like this one. This one is irrelevant. If price is tapping this kind of imbalance with the next candlestick, most of the time it taps it, and the high of this candlestick it taps, comes back lower. This is not something that happens all the time, but it happens most of the time. This next candlestick, high of this candlesticks gets protected, okay? And price keeps going lower with the next candlestick. But if this one is a bullish candle, let's make it a bullish candle. What happened? Something going on with TradingView. Okay, it is back. If this becomes a bullish candle, let me erase the midline. And becomes something like that. And next candle taps it. This is a close, this is open. And becomes a small bullish candle like this one. For example, becomes something like that. Okay. Just give me a second. I'm trying to make it look like real price. The next candle usually takes out this high. I think it's about the strength of price, the dynamics between the order exchanges. I mean, over here, price is receiving, seeing or receiving more buy orders than the previous one. Previous one, 3 black candles. There are more bearish flow there. So I believe price might keep going higher to fulfill this imbalance, maybe even tap this just a little bit with the next candlestick, next 15-minute candlestick, and it is about to get opened. But today was a quite bearish day, so I'm not entirely sure about today. This is something happens most of the time, and I'm just observing price, right? I'm just trying to see if price wants to do this once again, wants to take out this high. I kind of feel like price will sweep this high and tap this weekly open level. But if it keeps going with the momentum, then we might see an opportunity to get a short setup towards this gap over here. Again, this is a weekend gap from previous weeks. You can see it easily on 4-hour chart. Closing price of February 13th and opening price of February 15th. You can see how price was bouncing from that level. And it still didn't hit the market open. Again, bulls are, or buyers, aggressive buyers are trying to push price above this level. Look at this on weekly chart. If price goes above it, it becomes a white candle. It becomes a bullish candle. But when it is above this level, it is a bearish candle. This is a battleground. Okay. Aggressive buyers are going to try to push price above this level. And sellers will likely to try to protect this level. Maybe aggressive buyers will turn into sellers after this level taken. I don't know. And I don't care. What I care is my experience, and I have seen this kind of things many, many times. Let me check the ES chart. Okay, are you guys enjoying this Paper trading at the moment doing really well with the previous day close. Paper P&L very good, but too many trades. Was watching tradings MNQ, MES, silver and micro gold. Did well, but need to watch less and focus. I think you are on the right track, AJ. That's your name, right? Yes. AJ, I think you are on the right track. That's how we learn. We try, fail, observe, and the best thing to do is starting with no or too little risk. It's better to start with no risk at all. So I believe you are on the right track, and I believe your system will figure itself out along the way when you are paper trading, when you are just be reflective, right? If we be reflective, I mean, if we observe what we did, what worked, what didn't work, and what we liked, what we didn't like, what we can do and what we can't do. If we become observing about this, and if we become objective about those realities, we eventually start to see some patterns, both on charts and both about charts and about our behaviors. And understanding those patterns eventually opens a new perspective, opens a new horizon. So we start to see things differently and eventually act differently and eventually become consistently profitable. This is all just a neurological process where we do some trial and errors and some creating some neural pathways, things like that, and eventually we reach what we want to reach. It takes time, but if you think about that, it actually takes less time than other professions. I mean, I studied on the law school for 4 years, then there was 1 year internship, and the amount of salary I was offered was just $1,000, $1,000. That's it. Why? Because you are inexperienced. You gotta get about 5 years of experience. Man, 10 years is already gone, right? I am going to spend 5 years to get the degree and the lawyer certificate, and I am going to work for a little money for 5 years, and eventually you are going to miss some couple $1,000 just because I became experienced. 10 years on 10 years of experience, and I am going to do. Nah, I felt like that wasn't my thing, and I quit. And I'm glad I quit because I love trading. It is so enjoyable. It's fun. My curiosity never dies, and yeah, these are doing the thing I mentioned. This might do. It would be lovely to see a reversal from this level, but I'm not sure. I'm not a top or bottom picker. I have no idea what this is going to do next, but it will be nice to see a reversal from here, something like that. Price losing this level, leaving a tap near this. This became a consolidation area, right? If price leaves this consolidation area and gives a retracement towards the area and makes a lower low, then our market, our mechanical liquidity cycle model will be playing out. That mechanical liquidity cycle has almost the same thing with the swing breakout sequence. Price breaking lower, creating the inducement, making lower low, sweeping, reversing back lower, things like that. The only difference is this has got a consolidation area, okay? It would be lovely to see price keep expanding lower and using this area as a resistance, breaking lower, tapping the area, making lower low, sweeping the tap, maybe tapping the previous day low and strong reaction from previous day low, then you can use any kind of entry pattern. You can use head and shoulders, you can use fair value gaps, order blocks, all of them will work, right? RSI, moving average, everything will work if you waited for the correct time with correct context, right? The most important thing over here is the context. So, but if I try to force short setups over here, I don't know how many times I would get stopped out, and I feel too lazy to count it, right? So I didn't take any short setups over here, and I normally wouldn't take this long either. I just want it was just a illustration, right? The reason I didn't want to take this long is, well, this behavior, and the reason I didn't want to take a short, well, the shorts would be stopped out. I would get shaken with the wicks, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Since I already show you about the idea, I will close this. At the open, when IG lows were taken, you said you were not looking for shorts and you shorted. What changed? Well, first of all, I checked the higher time frames. I saw this sweeps over here, and I used a little bit intuition experience there too, but there wasn't enough time to explain that to you, right? So instead of explaining, well, price was doing that, I wanna short, because I was thinking price might immediately drop back lower from this level. That's why instead of explaining to you, I first take the entry. After taking the entry, I started the explaining the logic behind it. Okay, that's the reason why. And also, I forgot to mention this one either. I think I should probably mention this one too. This New York midnight opening price tapping it, bouncing from that level. Many times I saw that during the bullish price action, and it used to look really close to this one. Price makes a fast movement towards the New York midnight open, and if it is going to go higher, most of the time it just immediately keeps going higher with imbalances. But over here, price just tested it, tried to come back higher, left the imbalance, and without tapping the imbalance came back lower. And I still felt some kind of hesitation when I was taking this short setup, and this always happens because we are making a decision in an unpredictable environment, right? I mean, we can make some kind of predictions. We can see that price might be going lower, but we can never be sure unless we see that price is doing exactly that, right? So I'm not gonna lie about it. I hesitate too, just like any other people, right? I'm not the professional guy with years of experience, right? I have been looking at Nasdaq chart for the last 3 years, and 3 years is not a huge experience. It's something too big, right? So I'm not gonna lie about anything at all. I'm here for transparency and sharing only. Okay. So I hesitated. I'm not gonna lie about it, but after thinking about the higher time frame context and seeing that, I just betted on a breakout. That was simply it. I mean, I don't know. I have seen this many times, and seeing candlesticks printing live gives me too much idea. I mean, I don't make chart analysis too much, right? I don't make too much hindsight analysis. I mean, I don't hold on to a hard bias before watching the price action, and I don't know. I get used to observing price on the live chart, right? I mean, if you look at this, and if the higher time frame was bullish, right? That would be an amazing long setup. Amazing, just a great long setup that would have been. Sweep this and keep expanding higher without testing this level. Sweep, look at the 15-minute imbalance, right? In 2024, when price was making new all-time highs constantly, I have seen many setups like that. Sweep this and keep skyrocketing. But we are in a different context, right? We are not in a daily bullish trend. We are inside of a daily choppy range. So my ideas and my bias can change throughout the day. I believe this is actually a good thing. I don't hold on to my ideas too much, too tightly. I just follow the order flow, try to understand what is price doing, and take my trades based on that. And I also explained many reasons why my bias was bearish and why I targeted this weekly gap over here. But since I felt like there was actually time for explanation, but I felt like there might be no time. I felt like it might keep dropping lower, so I wanted to take the setup first. It's not about the timing too, though. I mean, if I see a setup present and I see the entry opportunity, the main focus for me should be taking that opportunity, right? I mean, I'm here to execute my ideas, not just explain. So I wanted to execute first and then explain. I enjoy your streams, Misosa says. Misosa. Yeah, he says, I enjoy your streams and your explanations. Will this be a thing daily now? Well, it has been daily. I have been making a live stream every single day since the beginning of the February, and I will keep doing that. I will do these live streams every single day because when I'm alone, I start to trade like a psychopath, right? There are too much information rushing into my brain, and I tend to click anything based on that chaotic infos. Too much things. Sometimes it hurts my head. So, but when I'm in the live streams, I start to think more systematic. I think articulating my thoughts to you forces me to keep my brain, keep my consciousness in a disciplined manner, or I don't know. When I talk about the price, I became much more disciplined, much more careful. This is why I do these live streams on couple of weeks ago, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, I just activated a funded account. I just told myself, let's trade my funded account. I immediately below the account, I had no idea what happened and how happened. I just blew the account, and I promised myself that I will not take any risk unless I'm on a live stream. So if I am not here, I'm not placing a risk, even if it is just a $20 little evaluation account. I'm not going to take any risks without the live stream. So yes, these live streams will be a daily thing now. I will even do live streams on the weekends. On Saturday, on Sunday, I will likely do this on Saturday. I'm not exactly sure yet. I will make a weekend audit. I will check the setups I took. I will also be journaling, taking notes, brainstorming about the things I did, trying to understand the price better. So yeah, these live streams are a daily thing now. I will do them every day, including weekends. If I see the demand for it, I mean, even if I see a couple of people who want to see the live streams every weekend, I can do this every weekend too. It's just an hour, and I already study and backtest on the weekends by myself, and I can just open the screen recorder, open the OBS, and talk about the ideas, right? I can show anything to you. Sharing is good for me too, explaining things for you. I mean, a month ago, I wasn't this good I wasn't disciplined at all. I just started this live stream to become disciplined. If you saw this video, let me show it to you. If you saw this video, I lost all of my funded accounts. And before I even started this live stream, I recorded this small little video just to be transparent and explain what I am doing. This wasn't really a mentorship, but it seems like it is ending up being something even better than these so-called mentorships that ICT was doing. But forget about it. This is not a mentorship. This was something I wanted to create some order inside of my consciousness. That was the aim, but it ended up something valuable. I mean, I feel the things that I share is really valuable, and I also see some feedback. Even couple of people, even if this helps a couple of people, then that's it, that is enough for me, right? So I really appreciate you joining to this live session. Let me look what AJ says. Been at it 1 year, studied a lot of the strategies from the TFX, Stoic, and J at shit show. Could trade up from a few hundred 2K in a day or two, then blow up. Yeah, that happens a lot. Believe me, this happens almost all of us. Now single setup, risk and emotion management. Yes, that is the way. Keep going like this. And I kind of feel like people in this live session is more likely to become profitable than other people's, because you are sitting here listening to a guy blown all of his accounts and who cannot speak English very well, but you are still listening because you are seeing something over here, right? And you can see the consistency for the last month. So I believe we are the people who is going to make it. We are not here for fun. We are not here for entertainment. We are not here looking at the flashy cars from that guy Patrick Wieland, right? So I think we are going to make it. We just gotta keep going. Okay, let's see what Barry says. I was weighing yesterday's bullishness higher myself, so this just threw me off. Yeah, it's quite normal. I mean, it happens to all of us. It happened me. It happened to me a lot of times. That's because we learn a lot of things, patterns, etc., trends, but people doesn't teach about the context too much because it is a little bit more difficult to explain, and also it doesn't attract too much attention, right? Most of the things you see on the YouTube is designed to attract attention. So, and people easily get bored. We all easily get bored. So, talking about the context of the price action, talking about the real deal, talking about how to really learn doesn't attract too much audience. So, not many people are doing this kind of stuff. I mean, a month ago, I could have took long inside of a day like this. I mean, in the past, I took longs from these levels and got burned, and longs from these levels. I was like, hey, it tapped the weekly gap and bouncing, let's long it. Or I would leave limit orders to this weekly gap and get burned, things like that. Or I don't know. It's normal, right? We are learning things over here, and it's really normal to fail when we are learning. This is why we should approach this just like an experiment, like, right? I mean, this is not a competition or something like that, and the things we do doesn't estimate our self-value. Okay, if we do something wrong, it's not about our personality. Okay, we didn't fail just because we weren't enough or we were stupid. We failed because we were experimenting something, and the experimentation showed us a result. Think of it like that. If you were a scientist and you did a trial, would you say trial failed? No, because a trial cannot fail. A trial tries something without knowing the outcome to see the outcome, right? If we treat this like an experimentation, we would try something, we would get feedback instead of blaming ourselves, and with that feedback, we can adjust our behaviors, we can adjust the things we know and things we learn, and we can eventually create a system that yields consistent profitability. So I am going to grab some snacks and then go to the gym right here. If you guys have any questions, you can ask that from Twitter. My DMs are open. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not here to steal money from people. Okay, I'm not trying to get rich from YouTube. I am trying to create some credibility especially for myself. I mean, the biggest critique is my own brain, and I am trying to prove my own brain, that I can do this. That's the biggest critique. So I appreciate all of you guys joining to this session. I think this Stoic Traders is becoming a great what was the name of this thing? I forget it again. Community, yes. We are becoming a great community. I appreciate you guys. I really enjoy these live sessions. We are learning together and improving ourselves together. So I will see you tomorrow on the next live session. Goodbye and take care of yourselves.